Yeah, champion, Brooklyn, spin the yard with me. I got bars too, you heard? I'm a mathematician with the bars, my intros is going hard, my interviews getting bigger, the guests know I'm a star. Always knew that I was realer, was held up by the frauds who didn't believe my vision, I had to prove them wrong. Then I rose up out the mud like concrete in the rose. The difference is I wasn't picked up and taken home. 4 walls in the cot, had to prove if you real or not. Gotta protect yourself with a lock in the sock, coming out the box. That shit apparent, the tarot card said I was destined for blessings in abundance, but my heart I had to protect it, didn't listen. And grandma in my ears steady bitching. I was falling blinded by the lights flashing in my vision. False presentation, money, cars, girls, pagan world. Sick of being broken, hungry nights made me wanna earl. Curled up in a pissy bed, stick up boys rain in the crib, looking for Calvin and Savior bread in the mattresses. Dead upon arrival, I swear with my left hand on the Bible. Mama grabbed that Mossberg and started clapping for our survival. This is the facts, I ain't even capping. Trapping got its course and I ain't paying for shit to happen. Niggas spin the yard, huh? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spin the Yard, Behind the Genius, okay? It's also the artist aspect as well. First and foremost, before I begin anything, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers, everybody who's liked, shared, did everything as far as helping to promote this platform. You already know this platform is for us, it's by us, and we're going to keep running it up, all right? I also want to say rest in peace and rest in power to Irv Gotti. He was a powerhouse in the music industry. He did his thing for so long in this industry and helped so many careers out and changed people's lives. I want everybody out there to make sure y'all support and show love to not only Irv Gotti, rest in peace, but also his family, friends, and confidants, all right? Rest in peace to you, brother. May you be well in heaven. All right, today I have a very special guest, okay? This brother, I'm happy that I connected with. You know, one of them did time in prison, was a part of the Bad Boy Association under Diddy, and he has been able to come up out of his trials and tribulations and become a genius at the end of the day. We try not to let everybody get that legendary status and stuff like that, but when you have certain experiences that you've been through, it helps you to fall under that title. So I want everybody to make sure you like, share, and subscribe this video and give it up for G-Dep.
Make some motherfucking noise.
G-Dep, y'all know G-Dep. Fire artist, unfortunately formerly incarcerated individual, out here doing the right thing, doing his numbers, great music, all of the above. Comes from up under the Bad Boy umbrella and stuff like that. How are you feeling, my brother?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great, man. You know, it's good to be here, you know?
So, Dep, I like to go in a chronological order of things. So talk to me about, you know, how it was growing up in Spanish Harlem. The pits and the falls and the ups.
I mean, Spanish Harlem was a great experience, man, you know? You know, I grew up, you know, in Harlem as well. You know, I lived on the west side for a little while.
What part of the west side?
164th, you know, Amsterdam.
Broadway, you know,
and all that.
But,
I was more on Amsterdam, Edgecombe. I lived right on the block, actually, where
the workplace facility?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Right on the block.
I was there in 03, yeah.
That's the block I lived on, you know. So I grew up there, and also, you know, I used to go downtown. My grandmother lived in Spanish Harlem, the Johnson Projects. So, I mean, you know, growing up there, man, it was just, you know, it's a great vibe, man. You know what I mean? Boska, you know, attest to that, man. Right. Over there, it's kind of, it's diverse, you know, so you get, you know, a lot of open-mindedness. Like, you know, people, you know, just accept you, like, for who you are. You know, it's black, you know, Spanish, you know, Mexican, Italian, like right, it's kind of like a melting pot over there, you know. So it's like, you know, I just grew up, you know, in that frame of mind to you know, just, you know, understand that, you know, we were all people. You know what I'm saying?
So was it more like community based, where like everybody knew each other, like more family orientated?
Yeah.
In Spanish Harlem?
Yeah, definitely. You know, people. Oh, yo, that's what's such and such grandson, all that, right, you know. Right. So, you know, you kind of got to navigate things because of that, you know.
Got you. So you're a phenomenal artist, right?
Appreciate you.
And my thing is, when did like the artist bug bite you? Like, what was it that made you say, you know what, I want to rap?
Well, I would just have to say, man, just, you know, coming up in that whole golden era of rap, you know, in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always kind of just admired the, you know, just the entertainment aspect of just entertainment, period. You know what I mean? Growing up looking at people like Michael Jackson, and, you know, he was our phenomenon at that, you know, at that age, you know? So, you know, watching him doing the moonwalk, and and you know, just, you know, growing up listening to, you know, Soul Sonic Force, you know, I can probably say that listening to Soul Sonic Force in what was that, 82, 83 or whatever.
I was born.
Yeah, word, when it came, wow,
Word.
showing my age now. Word, yeah. Word, man, about 82, the joint, you know, I realized that I liked, you know, hip hop, you know what I mean, and hip hop was a, you know, Electric Boogie and all of that. That whole culture was something that I was digging. You know what I'm saying?
So you were like you could say you kind of developed the culture where you like breakdancing and freestyling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was around for all of that. You know, like that was my era. Like just, you know, the whole culture, graffiti, you know, bombing, breakdancing. I was in a little breakdance crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you know, I still got the cut on my leg from when I tried to do a windmill on the cardboard, because you used to put the cardboard down. And the little staple was still in there. I tried to do the little windmill, to the white meat, you heard? So
windmill your leg.
Windmill my leg right on up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so my joint is still like, but yeah, you know, so I was just, you know, part of the whole culture, man.
Got you.
Wow.
So was there any point during like those times where you was like, all right, I'm gonna start going outside and rapping?
Yeah, I mean, it was gradual, like, you know, cause I used to just write. And, you know, and then one day I was in school, I'll never forget, I was in probably like the 7th grade. I had just went to, started junior high school.
Right.
And we were in like the auditorium. And I think it was like orientation type of thing. We was in there chilling. And then I started beating on the chair. Yeah. And then I started like rhyming. So no, it was real simple. Now I just was like, you know, just playing around kind of. And my man was next to me. This kid that I, you know, we end up being, you know, great friends, you know. He was like, yo, you rhyme? I was like, yeah, man. You know, I was like trying to front, like, yeah, man, I rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
I've been doing this.
I've been doing this since I was 5. Nigga.
Right.
Yeah. Word. So he was like, yo, you know, we just started kicking it, and, you know, we started writing. We had a little group. That's actually how I came up with the name G-Dep, because we had we had a group. We were supposed to be cowboys and Indians. So he was Kemo Sabi.
Right. And
I was the deputy, you know.
Okay, so what, the G stand is because of your first name?
Yeah, the G. Okay. Well, the G was really because I wanted, you know, like I said, in my young mind, I wanted to be the cowboy. But I was thinking that, like, the cowboy was the deputy, like,
right,
you know
the
what
sheriff
I mean?
And all
yeah,
that.
The sheriff. Yeah. Like, so I was like the deputy. I'm gonna be the deputy. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like,
king of the situation.
Yeah, exactly. then I said I want to be the general deputy. Like, how you gonna be the general and the deputy?
Highest of the highest.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna run you niggas.
I'm gonna run them over. Like, this is So then that's where the G came from.
Right. And
then I was like, you know, then I shortened it up, G-Dep. That was how the name came.
And this was when you were in junior high school?
Yeah, this was our 7th grade. I never
Damn, so you've been rapping since junior high school?
Yeah. A little earlier than that. And that's what I'm saying. Like I was writing, you know, but I didn't let it. That was kind of the first time. That was why I was telling that story. That was kind of the first time I like let it, you know, publicly let it be known. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? I told him. And then, it was just like off to the races after that, you know?
Got you. Now, my next question is like, how was it in the home? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we have these aspirations as young black boys. And we want to rap, we want to play ball, or we want to do the things that we see in our neighborhood. But then a lot of times our parents or guardians, you know, could be your grandmother, whoever's like, no, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor, a fireman, a policeman. So did you get the support you needed because of the passion that you had, or did you have to kind of fight for it in the home?
Oh well, nah, I can't lie. My mother was real supportive.
That's what's
you know
up.
what I mean. Like she was smart. You know, she knew if anybody, you know, and I think I got that from her. You know, any children, any child that wants to do something, you know, you should foster that because most children don't want to do nothing. You know, they don't know what they want to do. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
fact, yep.
So when you see them having interest, you just gotta kind of like cultivate it, you know.
Right.
And that's what she did. Like she knew I wanted to rhyme and rap. She saw I was into it. She would see me writing and like at first I used to do the makeshift thing. I would put the
Or index cards?
yeah, no, I would get the tapes and she had the dual cassette.
Oh,
joint.
okay. So
I
you
used
record.
I would
He
record.
talking about the tissue. Put the tissue
yeah,
in
put
the
the
tape.
tissue
in the tape. Yeah, you figure all that out when you're young.
Right,
If I put the tape in there, I could record on it. Yeah, so I figured out, I would record from her old records. I find a song, a little sample.
Yeah, that has just
Yeah,
the
that
beat
had just a
playing.
little part. I would
Right.
tape it again, like 30 times till I got a beat, start rhyming over it. So she used to see me doing that, and so one day she said, remember at that time they had that. You guys are kind of young, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
but
maybe I see my mom.
Yeah, you might have seen it, but nah. At that time, they had this thing that used to come on about the Yamaha sampler. It was piano. It was like a sample. That was the first time they had them like, for the public. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was a commercial that used to come on, and it was a dog that put it like he was like, "Watch this." They was advertising the joint.
Yeah.
They was like, "Yo, watch this," and the dog would like bark on the keyboard, like in a little speaker, and then homeboy was just playing it like, he was playing.
Okay.
So it was like
Yeah,
it was
voice
called
sample.
it was a voice sample. It was a Casio Yamaha. It was like a popular commercial because that was the first time they kind of
Casio.
showed that.
Watches and all that.
Them joints in jail.
Yeah, hell yeah, word, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So my mom seen that, and I just it was just a wish upon a star type of thing. Yo, mom, I want that, and she was like, "Word, that's what you want." I was like, "Yeah." So my birthday came around, she bought me that, and
That's
then
what's up.
that was what really
Set it off.
set it off. Like I was able to like make my own beats, so to speak, and music, and yeah. But she definitely cultivated it.
So you essentially tailored your sound, because when we talk about, we're gonna get to it, but it's like when I listen to you rap, even from your inception of how the world was introduced to you, I think about how in the pocket you were, or you still are, but at that time, as far as the introduction, I'm like, yo, this nigga bars is literally in the pocket, like he's hitting every kick and snare.
Oh, copy.
When he hits us, like every syllable is hitting a kick and snare, and if not, he has space where the hi-hat is at. He's smacking right on it. This for my niggas, them special delivery. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's how much I listen to records.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I can see that because you were tailored at a young age, when your brain is still growing and you still trying to encompass this. You're like you're tapping in so crazy that as you grow and the more you doing the repetition, you start to become a master at that shit.
Whoa, I never really even thought about it.
Yeah, that's how it is, because they say it takes about 10 years for you to master a craft.
Yeah.
I read that in a book a while ago, you know what I'm saying? So after 10 years of doing it, especially at a young age, I had J.D. Williams from The Wire up here yesterday, and he was acting since he was in junior high school. So by the time he became an adult,
it was like second
it's
age.
over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could see that. Now, were there like, you grew up in a two-family home or a two-parent family home, or just your mom?
Well, at first, yeah, I did grow up with my moms. My mom's, she was a young parent. You know what I mean? My pops wasn't really around like that. He would pop up, you know what I mean? Every once in a while type of thing. My mom's, she was in just other relationships type of thing, but not with my father, And then, that's kind of basically how I grew up. And then when I turned 13, she got married.
Okay.
And that was kind of, that was just, a blessing, because that got her focused. Which in turn, gave me more stability, and my stepfather, he was a great dude, moved us out to Jersey, in the house, and we was a little bit, we was way more stable, you know, but that was how I grew up.
And he was supportive of your dreams as well.
Yeah, I mean, he just was just a provider. He didn't really, he knew what I was doing. He was like, do your thing, young man, type of thing,
Got you.
Yeah.
So where did the shift happen for you? Because, you had your mom and you had a stepdad, and then your father was in and out, right? So where did the shift happen where you start going to the streets, being that you had this type of stability and you were living out in Jersey? When did that shift happen?
Well, even though I was living out in Jersey, I still went to school in
Harlem.
Mm-hmm. So I would commute, I would every day I would get up. He was living in East Orange at the time.
Okay.
That's when we first moved.
The Oranges.
Yeah, hell yeah, so all I would do was jump on the community coach. I get to the city in 40 minutes, what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would, do that every day, go to school, chill around the block, same old thing. It was like I really never left, I just lived, rested in Jersey,
Right.
So, I just knew what was going on out there, and, it attracted me more so than it was just one of them things that I was drawn to, you know what I mean?
Right, seeing the hustlers,
yeah,
the whole people having things that you may want, stuff like that, right?
Stuff like that. I was, like I said, I was going to school in those communities, so so that's just basically how that went,
So did you start, at what age do you think, because you were hustling at one time, right? So when did that begin?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I started early though, because I was around. Yeah, man. I actually, was, I knew you could make money from it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, especially at a young age, we weren't we were kind of poor.
Mm-hmm.
Not poor to the point where it's we were sleeping on
pissy beds and all that.
Beds and
It was middle class.
Yeah, it was kind of middle class, and but I just didn't have what I thought I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in Harlem, so you see young rich kids. You know what I'm saying? You see young kids that's sons and daughters of rich, probably hustlers. You know what I mean? Whoever. So I'm seeing them coming through and on mopeds and. They 11, 12, I'm like, damn, I want that, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Shit
like the mobs.
Yeah, I didn't know who I was around, you know what I'm saying? But, to me, it's looking shiny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yo, that was just one of the things that, I looked at, so, I was trying to, make some money. At a young age, man. I'm talking about.
You want to be shiny too?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm like 9, 10 trying to get a pack.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
God damn.
Yo, what's up? Dudes is like, hell no, sure. I mean, where so I'm like, you know what I mean? And then, later on, same thing. I just was attracted to it, man. When we moved to the east side to Spanish Harlem. Same thing, dudes was out there, hustling, and then I wound up getting some work, you know what I mean? And actually, I really started hustling in probably the 8th grade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And you were still rapping and stuff like that at the same
you know
time.
what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? Kid gave me some work, and, he was like, yo, look, take this to your block, and y'all can start your own thing, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I went over there and I tried to start my little conglomerate and all that.
Niggas ran down?
The niggas ran down. Older dudes like, yo, get out of here, man. You can't be out here. You heard that? So, what I'm saying? I was in the building. I ain't really know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that, you can, that's what I get for thinking. But
you was lit once you got the pack.
Yeah, I got the pack. When I got the pack, but I could have hustled where he was from. But he was like, yo, why don't you go over where you at and you can start your own thing and one of them things. But that was just a young story, and that was kind of how I got into all of that.
So at this point you're hustling and you're still when you go home or whenever you got free time, you're still writing.
Right.
Right. So where was there a point where you actually went to a studio and started recording? Was that at a young age or was that later on?
Yeah, that was probably later on. I would probably say, I could say the first time I went to the studio was probably, I was probably about 16.
Okay, you were still young.
Yeah, I was still
High
young.
school days,
Yeah,
huh?
high school. When I got to high school, I was my man that I grew up with, a kid named Corey. He had started, he was entrepreneur, entrepreneurial spirit. So he started his own little management. He was like, he knew I was rhyming. So he was like, I'm gonna manage you, son. He's a little older than me, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, whatever. So he started his own company called CeeLo Management. And we was just running around, you know what I'm saying?
This in Harlem.
Yeah, this in Harlem,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? So he wound up put me like we went to the studio, a little makeshift studio. I went, we recorded a joint, and that's how it kind of started, me going to the studio.
Were you recording over original beats or like songs that was out already?
Nah, we was making beats at that time. My man Keith Quest, he did a lot. He did all my production back then. It's my bro I grew up with. He was making the beats. You know what I'm saying? And he used to make just all the type of samples of stuff, and we would just go in on it.
When did motherfuckers really start taking you seriously?
I think people used to tell me that they like what I was doing. My peoples, my close friends, they used to clown me. They used to be like, yo, what you
Niggas hating because they
saying?
can't rap like you can.
Yeah, but it was in fun though. But they were just like, yo, it was funny to them to see their friend rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like rapping, you just Shaheem. I'm just Terrell. Like, you know what I mean? You rapping. Who G that, nigga?
Right.
It was one of them things, you know what I'm saying? So it was like that. But then, after a while, like I started, getting on mixtapes and stuff like that. The first mixtape I got on, Chill Will.
Oh, shout out to Chill Will.
Shout out to Chill Will, man, from the east side. I got on his mixtape, and then I got on SNS, compilation that he had. Shout out to DJ SNS. Hell yeah. Then really, what really did it was when I wound up getting on the Gangstar, when I got a shout out on Gangstar's album.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. My man's Shiggy Shah and Panchi, they was signed, or they was dealing with Premier Guru at the time. They started, they got that group NYGs.
Right.
Yeah, so they was from my block. They was from the same neighborhood. So they used to always tell them about, tell Premier about me and like, let's let him hear my stuff and stuff like that. So Sean, the kid, Guru, I think it was Guru or Premier, they put my name on the back of the album. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Mass Appeal. It was the album. It was
with Mass Appeal.
Yeah, it was the album right before Moment of Truth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking at it, and he was like, "Yo, Premier shouted you out." Like brothers was just running down. Like that was a big deal back then.
Yeah, everybody read.
Hell yeah, everybody read the credits.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So dude was like, "Yo, you on the back? Yo, he shouted you out." Like I was like, "What?" So I went and got the album, seen it. So that was like kind of like the start of my whole real career at that point.
And that started with that shout out. It started getting more eyes on you.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
so now, all right. So Gangstar shouts you out. Rest in peace to Guru. Shout out to DJ Premier. So now you're circulating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're circulating. Are you like doing any shows or anything, or you just recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. We doing showcases.
Right.
At that point, I had got ran into another guy, JFK, management, Elite Entertainment. You know what I mean? And we were doing about to say podcast. We was doing,
Shit changed, bro.
That's a fact. We was doing showcases.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we used to do stuff, Sweet Waters back then. You know what I'm saying? What was the other joint? The Mark Ballroom.
Right.
Shit like that.
Shit down at LES.
Yeah. I mean, we was doing stuff like that. Shout out to Fat Joe. That was the first time I seen Fat Joe perform.
Oh, word?
First time I seen him, he had the Flojo out, killed it. I was like, damn.
It's like, what's this, like 92?
Yeah, this is early. This is like 92. Word.
Wu-Tang just came on the scene?
Hell yeah.
Right.
Word.
Yeah.
So, we used to just circulate. What was the other joint down on on Bowery right there.
Oh shit.
BCGs, CBBGs or some.
Yeah, it was a bunch of letters.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, we used to
because you had that, and you had the pyramid. Pyramid joint as well for showcases. Yeah, I remember that because when I was rapping back then, I used to.
I
used to go pop up there.
exactly.
Yeah, back at that time because you go into these shows like right now the shit is whack. Showcases are fucking corny. In my opinion, I've been to a plethora of them since I've been home. And I'm like, the energy is not the way it used to be. Because you walk in, y'all know this. You walk into a showcase at that time, and you're like, I gotta perform.
Right. It was more competition.
Yeah.
Like
it's life or death, nigga.
Right,
I'm trying to get up out of my situation. Y'all niggas playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I used to remember, like, we had a whole team or whatever. I'm from Brooklyn as well. So, like, we would come from Park Slope, Red Hook, whatever the case may be, and run down with the whole neighborhood. Like the more they see more people around, they're like, I got more support
back then. Hell
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I miss them days. I ain't gonna lie, but I might start doing showcases, man. Bring that fucking feeling back.
Well, that was what we would. That was like the always the focus. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like I was trying to sign when I probably wasn't even ready. Like you know what I mean? When I was still in high school, we was doing demos and. Shooting them, because I went to school on 2nd Street and 2nd Avenue. I went to LaSalle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to what's that shit? High School of Health and Professions on First Avenue.
Where that's at?
On First Avenue in East 15.
Damn.
Right across from Stuyvesant.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I got kicked out of Brooklyn. I couldn't go to no school in Brooklyn. And they sent me over there. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. So we used to be down there by Def Jam. Def Jam used to be right there on Bleecker, like a little bit off Bleecker. You know what I mean? So, I used to, we used to run down on, people, execs down there, and listen to my demo. And I think some kind of way we got our stuff into Stretch and Barbito's hands.
Oh yeah, they was underground kings, bro,
hell
from New York.
Hell yeah! Remember they had that show, that Pump It or Dump It.
Yeah.
The Dump It, yeah. We got on Pump It or Dump It, yeah. So we was on that. Dudes pumped it. Like we got 3 pumps and 1 dump, yeah.
Pause.
3 pumps. Damn, hold up, edit that.
Yo, Stretch and Barbito, y'all was wilding with that. That's wicked, but yeah.
So 3 pumps and 1 dump.
You don't even want to repeat it no more.
Hell yeah! Wow. So we did. That's so that was, we was always kind of trying to get on. You know what I mean? We had a lot of encounters with like just record execs standing in front. I remember one time we was in front of Capitol Records. And we just stood outside, and then one of the dudes walked in, and we gave him the demo, and he was like, "Yo, man, listen to our joint, one of them things." And sure enough, he called us too. He was like,
"Who was it? Do you remember?"
I forgot his name.
Okay.
Word. But he was, he was probably one of the A&Rs. He had his own office. He finally called us. He called us, and we went down there. We didn't get a deal with them, but he was feeling it. He was like, yo, I like what y'all doing. Keep recording one of them things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, whenever y'all get some different stuff, holla at me. You know what I mean? And, one of them things. So, we was
ain't that a fucked up feeling, man?
Yeah,
like,
man.
You like, yo, you feel like you made it. You walk into the fucking.
We was like,
the building,
we finally made it.
Right.
High fiving, yo, I'm telling hell yeah, yo, I knew it, bro. I knew it.
Yeah,
down there.
Recently, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, since I've been home, there's a few artists I took into the Universal building on, I think it's on Broadway, Fifth Avenue Universal Music Group building, with all the labels in it.
Dope.
And I met with a few people. I'm not gonna name them because y'all ain't tell me what I wanted to hear. But I went in there with artists who had motion, because everything's a numbers game, right? Had numbers, all of that, and I'm like, yo, look, I'm not here to fuck around with you niggas. I'm trying to get this nigga a deal. I'm trying to get this woman a deal. Let's make this shit happen today.
Right.
All of this going back and forth, I'm not with this shit, bro. Let's make this shit happen. And niggas never made nothing happen. There's a few people that I did, but it wasn't on a high scale. You know what I'm saying? But that feeling of like you being an artist and like, yo, I'm going, you telling everybody, right?
Hell
like,
yeah.
I'm I'm about to go up in Capitol Records. I got a meeting.
Word.
And then you fucking come out with your head down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a funny
They
thing.
didn't wish you good luck, and you had that inspiration, like, yeah, I'm about to, you know what I
Instead
mean?
of just taking a chance, like, yo, y'all niggas got the bread.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got the fucking money. Like, just give us a shot. You know what I'm saying? But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you go, was there any other meetings you had after, like, Capitol or any other labels that...
Nah, after that, we just started recording, and the song started getting a little bit more...
traction.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We started being a little bit more laser focused. Like the joints was coming out a little sharper. So we was kind of just more confident. You know what I mean? And then I wound up, and that was when I met my next manager, and he was like, "Yo, we gonna press up our own records." You know what I'm saying? So then the demo thing was a wrap. We just started pressing joints up, and we was selling, and we was taking them down to Tape Kings.
Right. I remember Tape Kings.
Hell yeah.
You used to buy Tape Kings when I was in jail.
Hell yeah.
Back in the days.
So, Tape Kings had a store down on Houston.
Right.
So we used to take it there, like, and we was doing it on consignment. We would give them a bunch of joints, and they would sell them, and we come back and get the money.
Get your percentage,
like
right.
stuff like that. And so we had a nice little relationship with them, and then that's how we was doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then then one thing led to another kind of thing.
So that was your first form of marketing.
Yeah.
Essentially, you know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah,
Like
we got the little
introduction to
stickers. We used to put the stickers up
Right,
wherever
right.
we went and stuff like that.
And what was the promotional aspect? Like, was it G-Dep? What? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was just G-Dep, and we would put like the name of the song on the sticker.
So you were no longer fucking with the other cats that was a part of your team as far as rappers? It was just you?
Yeah. At that point, my bro that I was rhyming with when I was in junior high school, he kind of, started doing his own thing. When I went to high school, we weren't in the same high school, so we kind of, slowly started parting ways. He went into the military, and then
whole different lane.
Yeah, whole different lane.
Right.
He's doing well though, and we just stayed cool, but we just didn't rhyme with each other,
Okay.
Wow.
So where does it come to the point where, okay, Tape Kings, shit is buzzing, shit is moving around the city. Where does it come to a point where it reach Diddy hands?
Well,
does that reach Diddy hands, or was that later?
Yeah, that was later because I had got locked up, and after we were doing our run, we did we did our run. We had the stuff out and things of that nature. We put out like maybe 2 or 3 singles, some vinyl, and then in 90, I was still hustling at the time, and then in 96, I caught like back to back charges.
Well, like sales and shit like that.
You know what I mean? And they first I had caught a sale in I think 94 or 95, 94 I believe, and they gave me a YO. So I had to be 17. So whatever year that was. So that was 90. If I was 17, I was 92, right? Or something like that. Yeah, because I was 18.
I gauge things by the year certain artists came out. So I always think about Wu-Tang. 92. That's when they really started popping, but yeah.
So damn, man, I caught a YO in 92. I wasn't supposed to get in trouble for 5 years. So when I got arrested in 93, I mean in 96, yeah, I got arrested in 96. They was like, yo, you violated your terms.
Yeah, your probation or whatever.
Yeah, so they was like 1 to 3, you know what I mean? So then I had the 2 felonies, and then while I was waiting to get sentenced, I caught another one.
Oh, they still let you out.
Yeah, they let me out. Word. They let me out.
Like my story, bro.
I caught another one. So now that's 3. You know what I mean? So I goes to court. I'm turning myself in now. I go to court, and they let me go. They was like, yo, come back in 30 more days. We not ready.
Wow. That shit was sweet, bro.
Yeah, back in the day, I was ready, swallowed the loony. I'm like, look, man, it is what I say. I'm like, yo, right. Yeah, I'm going in. So I'm like, yo, I know I'm going up north. I'm like, all right, boom. So I goes there, and they like, yo, listen, come back. So I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Coming back. and I catches another one.
God damn.
So I go in there with 4 felonies.
They like, we ain't fucking with you no more.
Yeah, they was like, yo, 2 to 6. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I was lucky I got that. They offered me like some crazy number. Like it was 5 to 15. Like I was like, damn. It was like
He was trying to cook up
He's
an
a
omelet.
persistent predator.
It was like obviously
He was trying to cook up an omelet.
That's a fact.
Word up. Like they really was like, yo, obviously he just doesn't understand that you can't be out here selling drugs and so they was like, yo, yeah, and they wind up I was scared to death in there. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like word, so they was like the first they brought it down to a 3 to 9, then they brought it down to a 2 to 6, and then then I wound up getting shot.
Oh, you got shot. So you went to Willard.
Yeah, so I went to Summit. I went to the shot.
Oh, that's when they had Summit. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
So, they still had the 4 camps at that time. They had Monterey, Lakeview, and like 2 others, Summit, and 1 other joint. I
think it was Mount McGregor or something like that.
Yeah, Mount McGregor, hell yeah. And then so I wound up doing Summit. It was like a camp, like but it was crazy. I did it. Came home. I only did like 8 months out that bit. I came home. I got locked up in April of 1996. And I came home in January of 97. So then when I came home, I was, everybody was like on at that. I tell this story a lot. Everybody was on. Mace had just dropped. Dude, Cam was crazy in the hood. Black Rob was,
yeah, it was a Harlem.
Yeah,
Harlem
was crazy. So I'm like, damn, dudes is on. When I left, everybody was still trying to get on. Like, you know what I mean?
Did you know like Big L ever?
That's what I was about to ask.
Exactly.
Did you know Big L or?
Yeah, I mean we met a few times. I didn't know him. I never did any songs with him or anything. One time I was in a studio in Jersey somewhere, and he came. He pulled up. Like I guess he had the session after us. He pulled up. I met him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you come home and everybody's popping.
Yeah, everybody's popping.
Mace is popping.
Mace is he's the guy.
Diaz.
Right. Dudes is running around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow. It was great to see. And so at that point I just was, we just was like, yo, we gotta do what we do. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I started, doing the demos again, and I wound up. So I guess that's around the time when Gangstar was putting together, that Moment of Truth album. So sure enough, the NYG dudes was like, yo, Premier wants you to get on the album. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, word? He was like, yeah. He was like, word, he's a song. He gave me the beat. He was like, yo, look, this is what he wants you to do. I'm like, yo, this is crazy right
This
here.
is 9/7.
This is 9/7.
What's crazy about that, I just want to point this out, is that's when Life After Death dropped.
Yeah.
March 97, right? Big died, unfortunately.
Copy. Yeah, I'll never forget that day.
10 Crack Commandments
Whoa.
was on that album, which was a fucking huge fucking record.
Hell yeah.
And you coming home from prison get a beat from Premier. But go ahead.
Word.
That's crazy, bro.
Word, bro.
Yeah, prior to Bad Boy.
Yeah, hell yeah. So that was what people really knew me for, because when I wound up being around that whole camp, I wound up going to Crazy Cat Studios. This is kind of blurry to me, like, huh?
Derek D-Dot?
Yeah, D-Dot joint.
Yeah, shout out to D-Dot.
Yeah, shout out to D-Dot. Hell yeah, man. Cause he was kind of the first person that kind of like was giving me like real beats, like real industry joints. Like, yo, here, right to that, and I'm taking it back. Like, yo, you hear this? Like,
Where did you meet him at? You met him
that's what's kind of like cloudy to me. Like, I don't remember. I know. He had an A&R named Smiley, and I think Smiley was the one that I think this is what happened. Smiley had heard the Gangstar stuff in like maybe the beginning of '98 ish around, right? And he was like, "Yo, Depp, I want you to come down to the studio." And so I went down to the studio, and I was recording, at Crazy Cat,
right.
For a little while, like, you know what I mean? I did a couple of, I think I recorded, or I know I was writing a lot of stuff, and D-Dot was like, yo, sooner or later, I want to record you, things of that nature. So I was in that camp kind of for a minute.
Okay.
Me and Black, this kid named Black, I think if I'm not mistaken, May West was down there at that time, and so from there, I was still recording with my bro. We had this song called Dollar Bill. And you know, I say that to say like dudes like I didn't know people even knew I was on Gangstar stuff. Like, you know, I didn't realize the scope of it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like dude, like I said, the A&R from Crazy Cat, you know, hollered at me because of that. He was like, yo, look, I heard you on the Gangstar joint. And I guess he did his research. He seen I was on S&S and you know, Chill Well and things of that nature. So, you know, he was like, yo, like, we could get behind this dude. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just say, you know, that was what kind of, you know, had me like on the industry radar in a way.
Okay.
And then when I did and at the same time we did like a demo, this joint called Dollar Bill, and BR had heard that. Like, well,
oh, okay,
you know what
gotcha.
I mean? Yeah, so that was kind of how I got into the Puffy. You know,
Okay, I got you. So, just to go down the timeline. So, you come home from prison, 97. You start recording again. Premier hears something, says, yo, I want you to do this.
Right.
You get on it, you mash it. It starts making motion. You start recording that Crazy Cat studio. Smiley the A&R says, yo, you need to record here more. We're going to start pushing this.
Right.
And then it gets, and then BR hears it.
Right.
Right. So, you know what's crazy? I was in Marcy Correctional with BR.
Was?
Yeah,
Bro,
it was crazy. Rest in peace to him.
God bless.
Great guy. Great individual.
Heck yeah.
We used to smoke mad weed, walking around the yard, and he just a rap. 'Cause I beatbox.
Oh,
I'm a
dope.
phenomenal beatboxer. So
Dope.
he used to be like, yo, Chip, let me hear that beat. Throw that beat on, nah. He just start rapping. But that was to, you know, pass the time and just keep him in the right state of mind because BR had his own issues, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal. So all right. So moving on, you BR hears it and what happens next?
So that was how the connection was crazy. It was ill, you know, for lack of a better word to say crazy, because we went. So when he BR hears the joint and he's like, yo, look, I'm feeling this. I want you to get on my album.
You're talking about the life story.
Yeah, the life story, right? So I'm like, bet, you know. I didn't think he was gonna really, you know, get with me, but he did. He called me. And he was like, yo, one day I'll never forget, my nephew comes downstairs, yo, Black Rob just called you, yo, this and that. I was like, oh, word? He's like,
That's when you had the house phone.
yeah, that's when you used to have the house phone. My nephew runs down, he comes downstairs, yo, Black Rob said he gonna call back in 15 minutes. So I was like, bet. So I don't know why he didn't have my cell phone. Maybe I didn't have a cell phone at the time I met him, but I had a cell phone at the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because so I get upstairs. Sure enough, he calls back. Yo, Deb, yo, where you at? I'm like, yo, I'm uptown. You know, I'm at the crib. He was like, yo, come down. He's like, yo, you ready? He ain't say where you at, because obviously he knew where I was at. But he was like, yo, he's like, yo, come down to the studio. You know, you ready? Remember that rhyme? I wanted you to get on the joint. Are you ready? I was like, yeah. And it was crazy. I had wrote the rhyme. As soon as he told me he was gonna call me down there, I wrote the rhyme that night. You know what I mean? So I was ready. You know what I mean? So when he called me, you know, I was just like, yeah, yo, hold on. I got to make a couple more sales. You know what I mean?
Nigga still hustling.
Yeah, because I'm like, how am I even get down there? You know what I mean?
Right, you gotta get that bread.
Yeah, so he was like, yo, no, don't worry about it. Like, just get in the cab when you get here. That's how I know I had the cell phone. Yeah, that's a fact. So he's like, yo, when you get here, just call me and I'll come downstairs. I was like, all right, bet. So when I do that and go down there, and it was crazy because I pulled up to the studio and I'm like, and I ain't even put two and two together. I mean, I didn't know at the time. I go upstairs and we in D-Dot studio. He
Crazy Cat.
Yeah, Crazy Cat.
Yeah.
Like, so he, you know, and I didn't realize that, you know, D-Dot was the executive producer of he was one of the
everything.
Yeah. Of he was the main dude, like the overseer, mostly him and Hart Pierre of Black Life Story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Black Rob recorded most of that up there, from what I understand. You know, so I comes there. You know what I mean? So it was wild. You know what I mean? So now I'm up in there and I'm really recording. You know, but this for Black Rob's album, for, you know, basically Bad Boy, you know what I mean? And so that was how that went, you know what I mean? So when I got down there, I spit on the I got on the joint, and Hall Pierre was there, and he was like,
Son is
word. Yeah, he was like, yo, okay, like, you know what I mean? So he just watching me rhyme. And then he was like, cause they just, 16s was kind of the thing at the time. And so I'm going in 32s. I'm just, hungry. I'm going crazy, mouth foaming. Like, yeah, word. And then he like, just like, keep going. And I'm just rhyming. And I guess it made sense. Like, I guess, cause now he's talking to the A&Rs out there probably. And they're like, yeah, he on this, that, this. I guess it made sense. You know what I'm saying? So when I came out the booth, he was like, first he said, yo, sit with that for a minute. Like, listen to it. Like, let me know if you want to do something to it, or if you feel like, you need to do it over or whatever. He's like, I think I like it. I think we could keep that. And I was like, all right, cool. So they all left. I'm sitting in the room like, wow. You feel that
now you feel more promising.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, man, A&R from Bad Boy is like, yo, look, he's like, yo, and then he's like, yo, so I'm listening to it in the big speakers, it sounding crazy. I'm like, damn. And then he comes back in the door. He was like, yo, come out here for a minute. I come out. He was like, he closed the door. He was like, yo, would you be interested in a deal with Bad Boy? I was like.
Right there on the spot.
Just like that.
Right.
And I was like, yeah. I kept it cool. You don't want to be, oh, yeah.
You don't want to seem all excited.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, man, that would be dope. And he was like, yo, so how could we make that happen? And I was like, well, just call my manager. Y'all could talk. And then so I just pulled the phone out, dialed him, gave him the phone.
And the rest is history.
Rest is music history.
All right, so again, going down the chronological order. So now, you're at Crazy Cat Studios. Harv Pierre pulls up on you, says, yo, let me holler at you real quick. What do you think about a deal with Bad Boy? You tell him, all right, holler at my manager.
Right.
Manager gets on the phone. And what happens after that?
Well, after that, we, I didn't really hear the conversation because they were on the phone, you know what I mean? And then...
Oh, Harv and your manager.
Yeah, Harv and my manager. But, essentially what he was saying was, we gonna, we'll have our lawyers contact y'all, and we just, we'll take it from there. So when I came downstairs, I called my manager immediately. Yo, what was y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, he's like, yo, I can't believe it. Like, he happy. We both, very, very excited, And then he's like, yo, man, it's a wrap, man. I'm gonna call. I think we was dealing with a lawyer named John Kellogg at the time. Shout out to John Kellogg, and he was like, yo, don't worry about it. It's all taken care of. I'm gonna call Kellogg. They had a lawyer at the time. I forgot his name. Benjamin, it can't be Benjamin. Well,
right, it was a lawyer, probably a Jewish lawyer.
It was some dude, and they contacted. He's like, yo, they lawyer was gonna contact my lawyer, you know what I mean, and then they was just gonna work it out. He was like, yo, they told Harv just told me that the lawyer will be contacting our lawyer, and then we gonna take it from there. And so that was just how it went. So from there we was just in the negotiation process, and also before I left. When we were at the studio, Harv was like, yo, look, this we gonna make this happen. He was like, but the final say is cousin. He used to call him cousin. He was like, yo, the final say is cousin.
Talking about Diddy.
He's talking about Puffy, you know what I mean? And so he said, yeah, so you gonna have to meet him. And I was like, oh, all right, no doubt. And so he said, I want you to talk to him real quick. So he called him. And then bro got on the phone and he was like, yo, look, he's like, yeah, I'm hearing good things about you, you know what I mean? It was ill to talk to him. He was like, yo, hearing ill things about you, man.
What year was this, if you don't mind me
asking? This was 98.
98, okay.
Yeah, this was in I want to say October, early October.
So he had to recreate Bad Boy at an extent.
So I guess that's what I was a part of, kind of, And so he he was just like, yo, bro, he was like, yo, Playboy, man, we gonna. That was the first time I heard somebody call,
Playboy.
Playboy. I'm like, yo, what's all the Bahamas? I'm a Playboy now, nigga. Heard us. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. So he like, yo, Playboy, man, like, yo, man, you gotta understand, man, this is real, man. I gotta meet you. I wanna, see, how you feel about this thing. I was like, oh, no doubt. And so he was like, look, what we gonna do is he's like, my assistant, he's like, he's like, I got your number. Mm-hmm. My assistant's gonna call you in a couple of days, and we're gonna set up a time so we can meet, and then I want so we could chop it up.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool, and that was my first meeting with him, and then like about a day or two later, it might have been the next day, I get a call from the assistant. She said, this is Mr. Combs' assistant. He wants to know where you would like the car to pick you up. He said he told you about a meeting that y'all was gonna have. I was like, oh yeah. And so I told her where I wanted to meet and all of that, one of them things. Mm-hmm. And then so the whole time, they were negotiating the deal.
Where was your mind at, like when it was like, yo, I'm about to go meet this nigga Puff?
Yeah.
Face to face. Like, how did you feel?
I mean, it just felt like what we've been going through all of those years. Just right. Like as far as like, trying to get a deal. It felt like another meeting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't really believe it yet.
Yeah, it was like it was more real, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was like, at this point,
nigga.
Yeah, at this point, you know what I'm saying? But it was also like, this is what we doing, you know what I mean? So it was like, all right, you know what I mean? So, that's just how I went into it. It was like, okay, well, whatever he wanted to see what he wanted to talk about, because I know it ain't nothing to talk about, but like, oh, we gonna do this deal, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go meet him. We went down there, and it was a good, so he sent the car, I think the next day, went down there. I ain't gonna lie, I was excited, to be, signing to Bad Boy, but it was also like, it gotta be right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you wasn't dumb, you wasn't naive.
Yeah, it was like, yo, like, okay, so you go into certain things, like, with that
mindset.
Yeah, the mindset, just to be like, yo, look, just like, yo, look, you're not going for whatever, you just on point to whatever can happen, type of thing, you know what I'm saying, as far as like dudes trying to
tuned in to what he's saying or whatever.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so I was more just kind of
taking it in.
Yeah, what's the word? I was kind of just like just receptive, I was like really hyper alert on what was happening, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So were you hyper alert for the reasons of the fact that you've been through that type of experience before, or because of stories you heard about other artists being under the label?
I mean, not really. It was more so because it was more of like, I knew how dudes in the industry, would just spin you, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of like, okay, it didn't feel like it was something going on or like
he was trying to spin you.
Yeah, or nefarious and anything like that. It just felt like, I just had to go into it with a focus, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I got down there, he sent the car. And I got down there and it was just super regular, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
where did y'all meet at?
We met at the studio.
Okay.
First, they took me down to the studio. Uncle Paulie came, picked me up. You know what I'm saying? With her, shout out to Paulie, man. Shout out to Uncle Paulie, and then came and got me in the joint, and then we shot down to the studio. He's like, yo, we gonna go to the studio. He down there. Then y'all gonna get something to eat. And I was like, oh, all right. So we get down to the studio. He come out the studio. I didn't go upstairs. I was in the front. He comes down. Met her real quick. Yo, what's up? He's like, yo, we gonna go get something to eat. I was like, all right, cool. That's what I mean. It was like super regular, like, you know what I mean? Like just meeting a dude for the first time. Like, he was like, yo, what's up? yo, what's good? Good to meet you. Yo, look, we gonna go get something to eat. You hungry? I was like, yeah, I can eat. You know what I mean? And so he was like, yo, all right, cool. So we followed him to some spot. I forgot where he was at. You know what I mean? We went to some spot. It was like, it had like the outside where you could eat outside or go inside. You know, so we went inside. We just chopped it up. You know what I mean? And it was just like, at the end of the, excuse me, he asked me stuff like, like how do you, like how did you get into hip hop? What's your thoughts on, the music today and, things of that nature, like, you know what I'm saying? So
it was like an interview.
Yeah, basically,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He asked me stuff like that. I guess he wanted to see if, I was serious about rap or if I was just that lucky that I, just stumbled upon this thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so praise the creator. He so after the meeting he just was like, yo, I'll never forget, so after the meeting we ate. I remember we ate some calamari. The first time I tried that, he was like, yo, you want some calamari? I was like, what the hell is that?
Shout out to the Ghetto.
I was like, yo, let me get a cheeseburger. He was like, yo, what you want? I was like, yo, you got cheeseburgers here?
Right.
I tried to get a cheeseburger and fries. He was like, come on, home. He was like, come on, Playboy, get something, man. I was like, I don't. And then the girl he was with, she was like, yo, you should try the calamari. And I was like, word.
Fried calamari.
Yeah, word. Fried joint, word. I was like, what is it? She was like, octopus. The female, you gonna at least try it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I try the calamari. I was like, hell yeah. I was like, yo, calamari? Send that. She was like, so she, when it came, I tried. I was like, damn, this is kind of good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It had the little blue cheese or whatever.
Right.
Word. So we
gave it that flavor.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So tried that, and then so after we chopped it up, and then after that, after he got, after we got up, he was like, yo, look, he was like, yo, I gotta make some moves, but he was like, yo, look, come to the studio tomorrow. And I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, word, just, I'm gonna sign you. I was like, word? He was like, yeah, man. He was like, I'm gonna sign you, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, welcome to Bad Boy. You know what I mean? He gave me the little pound, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, he's like, yo, I want you to come to the studio tomorrow. I just need you to be around, like, some things. And just,
was it Crazy Cat or Daddy House?
Nah, that's when he wanted me to come to Daddy's house. He was like, yo, remember where they just picked me up at? He's like, yo, come there. And, you speak to the guy downstairs and he'll tell you where to go, come upstairs and all that. And I was like, all right. And that was that. Word. And then from there, I was just around. You know what I mean?
Right. So when did you officially sign a contract?
So we went back and forth for a while. You know what I mean? Like, cause we was trying to
months.
About a month. You know what I mean? Cause I wound up signing in like the middle of December.
The fourth quarter.
Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? And it was cause he kept. I was around. They was giving me beats to write. I was running. Coming to the office and all that stuff. Meeting everybody, you know what I'm saying? They giving me stuff to write off of, and then he told me, he said, yo, look, we going to like the whole staff, we all going to the Bahamas. We writing for Forever, the Forever album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, I can't take you out there if you're not signed. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right. So he was like, so, do what you want to do. And so, it was just a matter of, certain details of the contract, you know what I mean? So I called my manager and I was like, yo, you want me to come out to what's the name? To Bahamas, where we at? You know what I mean? He was like, well, he still want this. We told him, nah, we got it. I was like, yo, bro, honestly, we gotta. He was like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, these is millionaires. Like, they could at any given time sign somebody, you know what I mean? So he was like, yo, I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling that too. It's been like a month. We might as well. And so he told me the terms. I was like, you know what, go ahead.
What were the terms?
The terms was he wanted 50%. He wanted it was all a publishing thing. You know what I mean?
I was just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying? So, at first the publishing was like too low for me.
It was like 80-20 or something.
Yeah, it was like some real disproportionate number. And I was like, but that was the standard contract, that he had. Like, just was like, yo, look, and then you had to be like, yo, look, nah, I want this, or you know what I'm saying? So that was what we was doing. And so we negotiated the joint, 50-50.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, we was trying to get like more though. That was the whole hold up. He wasn't trying to go past 50.
51%.
Yeah, like
2%,
we was like 75. You heard? We was so he was, so that was why even my manager was like, yeah, let's just. Cause he knew what we was, asking for was like, this is my first rodeo, you know what I'm saying? So, dude was like, yo, all right, so let's just take the 50. I was like, yeah, let's just take that, And then so he was like, yo, and that was when we wound up, coming down to the office.
Did at any point during contract negotiations did you look at it and say, you know what? I know you wound up signing it, but prior to actually signing it, before you were kind of pressed to sign it to go to the Bahamas. Did you look at it and say, you know what? This nigga's giving me an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is my first shot. Ain't nobody else give me this opportunity. So
Exactly.
You know what? I'm a rock and roll with it.
Exactly. That call, when I called my manager about that, that was like what fueled that. Like, yo, hold up. Like, dude, sign this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like what else we got going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, he was like, yeah, you're right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he even felt it. He was just trying to hold out. For my
see if the numbers was gonna go up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of looking out for our best interest, you know what I'm saying? So,
Because at the end of the day, I think it's like when a lot of people like try to demonize Puff for his business practices, but the way I look at it is like if you see somebody that's in that position, I don't care about all other shit people talking about right now, but when you look at it, somebody that's in that position that did Mary J. Blige, that did VIG, Black Rob, all these amazing acts, Jodeci, right? You like, I can take this with the right management, and I can actually expand this beyond Bad Boy. You understand what I'm saying? I can make myself a household name. I can get advertisements and sponsorships and things like that.
And he knows
outside of that, right?
Right.
So, my next question is like, all right, so you signed a deal. And you go to the Bahamas, right? What happens in the Bahamas?
Well, we just out there. We was all out there.
It was like a writing camp, or y'all was vacation.
It was both, because dudes was just out there, But it was like we had, dudes. We was putting together the album. So it was just like, yo, you write a song. Yo, he had his, game plan mapped out the way he wanted. So he was asking different artists to write certain joints, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, I need you to write this. So, stuff like that, or I need you to write this, or, we would come to the studio every day and see what he wanted, you know what I mean? If not, we was just doing us on the island, you know what I'm saying? That was just how that went.
How many joints did you write on that album?
I wrote probably, while I was out there, I might have wrote like 5 joints, but I think only like 3 of them made it. I wrote the joint Pain, on the Forever album.
That's funny because he had a joint called Pain on No Way Out with Carl Thomas.
Yeah. So I wrote that. It was a couple of other joints that it was just like some verses. You know what I mean? I think if I'm not mistaken, that might have been the only one he actually used.
Okay.
But I know I wrote like 5. You know what I mean? And then so he was just.
Were you working with the producers directly, or were you working with other writers, or were you just like off in your own corner, like give me the beat and I'm writing to it?
Yeah, that was how that went with me. Like he was just like, yo, I need you to write to this, and then I would just go back to the hotel and be like, you know what I'm saying? Then I would come and be like, yo, look, and I would lay it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So this is 98, right? Or we into 99 now?
No, this is 99.
Right. Yeah. So 99, you had Rockefeller going crazy. You had Murder Inc. going crazy. Rough Riders going crazy.
Yeah.
Shit. What else? Def Jam. Just Def Jam as a conglomerate was going crazy, right? And the
Violator somewhere. Right?
Violator management, right? Rest in peace, Chris Lightly.
For sure.
And now the Forever album drops. I remember on the Forever album, the songs I remember is like the shit with him and Christina Aguilera. Tell Me.
Tell Me.
Shit with him and R. Kelly. He don't understand you like I do.
I got 5 on it. Was that not? No, that was 10.
I got 5 on
Facts,
it. Yeah. I guess those were just the singles they were pushing. But I remember the album was like critically acclaimed. It wasn't like a no way out, right? It wasn't out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know he put a lot of money behind it. When did Puff decide after the Forever album released that, all right, we gonna start working on G-Dep album? Or were you just still writing?
Yeah, no, yeah, it was kind of gradual, like, you know what I mean? Like after we did the Forever album, you know, they were at the same time were giving me beats to see if, you know, like start writing to, you know what I mean? I think at that point I might have got Child of the Ghetto or one of those beats, or you know what I mean? Like, you know, just stuff that nothing that really stayed on the album a lot. Like a lot of the stuff was just stuff that we just did and never really made the album. You know what I'm saying? At that time, you know what I mean? So you know, he was just giving me beats, and then when we got back, you know, that's when I was kind of writing for my album. You know, he had this thing where he used to be like, yo, albums need to be like a good album should be recorded in like a year. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't with the microwave, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was just like, yo, cause you need to like experience it, then it just comes, the album is really better as an experience, you know what I mean? Not just you writing, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, cause like, you know, in January you might be doing this, but in March or April you might be doing this, and that could, you know, get you a different perspective and stuff like that. So he believed
interest.
Yeah. Well, you know, just like he wanted, I guess, life experience, you know, in those.
He likes to tell a story.
Yeah, in those albums.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I noticed. And I just want to retract real quick. I was wrong about something. I just thought about it. Those songs I mentioned were not on the Forever album. Tell Me or the joint with him and R. Kelly, that was on the Press Play album.
The Can Nobody Love You Like
That was,
I
excuse me,
Do.
that was on Forever.
Yeah.
But the Tell Me joint with Christina Aguilera, that was on Press Play.
Hell yeah,
that came out in like 2000.
Yeah. That was even later than that, 2000. Press Play, wasn't that like 07, 06?
Yeah, you're right. That was later on.
Hell yeah.
I get mixed up because I feel like Puff dropped albums, and I feel like he goes on these campaigns. He's went on these campaigns, and it's like at certain points it gets convoluted, right? It's like, okay, you got this, or you got Faith, you got G-Dep, you got this person, you got that person. Then you drop in a record. It's like, all right, we're really trying to focus on these artists, and you're distracting us. Not distracting us, but you're shifting our attention to you as an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're the boss of this label. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm so confused. You know what I'm saying? Because
he had a lot going on.
There was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying?
He was the guy, so you know those things stood out. You know what I'm saying?
And just generally speaking, like I feel like CEOs of a label don't do good. It's just my opinion from watching shit. Don't do good as an artist when they're a CEO. If you can name me 5 people, both of y'all, if y'all can name me 5 people right now who were CEOs of a label that were successful artists and all their artists were happy, besides Master P.
So you got me. That's
what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you a CEO of a label, like just stick to the business. When you try to become an artist, it takes away from the artists who are signed to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think for the most part that was a little issue with Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? You had Big was just big.
Right.
Like it don't matter where Big would have went.
Yeah.
He would have been explosive, right?
I agree.
But then Puff saying, okay, Big dies at an untimely time, and then Puff comes with No Way Out right after that.
He knew it
just propelled him as an artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now it's like I got Black Rob, I got Faith Evans, I got 112, I got Shine, I got all these artists under me.
Total.
Right. Mace, you know what I'm saying? Like I got all these artists under me and I just want them to write. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of like, it's kind of shaky between business and creativity. You know what I'm saying? Let the artists do what they do. When you look at Cash Money, Birdman is an artist,
right?
But he let his artists do whatever the fuck they need to do to make the label bigger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now all of this shit is going on, right? As far as the promotion of the album and this, that, and the third, and you're writing and stuff like that. You're getting beats. Were there other records that Puff had you write to that are actually out during that time before your album dropped?
Nah,
Okay.
nah. Because I mean, with me, they kind of didn't really, stress me for writing for him a lot. Like you know what I mean? Like it was more, do you put your album out? You know what I mean? Like yo, work on the child of the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So that was what that was where I was at with it. When we got around to Saga Continues.
Right. Saga Continues.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I
saying?
remember that.
Like he was kind of trying to premiere me more so at that
And that
point.
was 2002.
Yeah. Oh no, that was
2002.
no, that
right?
was because that was before my album dropped. Right, so that's what I mean. He tried to premiere me
2001.
2001. So yeah,
Drop, yeah.
right. So it came out the same year I came out. Yeah,
Right.
because that a lot of people was like, because he had certain skits on there from songs from my album. He actually had Let's Get It on that album.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Child of the Ghetto, he was playing in one of the. I think he even might have had Child of the Ghetto on the album. I know he had like 2 whole songs, if I'm not mistaken, on the album. But then he had another skit where I was like, he was on the phone with somebody, and he had I think Special Delivery in the background. You know what I mean? So dudes was like, so dudes was like, yo, damn, he had all your songs on his album.
Right.
And so he used to tell me, he'd be like, yo, damn, nobody know you, like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta. This is how I'm
Branch
this is how I'm advertising you, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, all right, cool.
Got you. I can understand that.
Yeah, so that was just our thing.
I got you. So you were around at the time when the Locks
Yeah,
was trying to get off the label.
Yeah.
And what was your relationship? Did you have a relationship with anybody from the Locks at that time?
Yeah, I mean, I was cool with them. You know, when I first pulled up, I met them, and we just hit it off. It was regular. It was just a regular vibe. Like, yo, what's good? And then we was at some event, and we were in the hotel chilling. You know what I mean? Playing PlayStation in the room, and then that was probably the only time I was around them after that. Like then
That's crazy.
Yeah, were. And then after that, they was like going through the stuff with old boy and all that.
What was your like thought process when you seen that? Like, you're signed to this label and you see a group that was successful going against the machine that you're a part of. How did you feel at the time?
Well, I didn't really think nothing of it, tell you the truth, because I knew it was business. You know what I mean? Whatever happened between them, I figured it was
You're like, that's not my situation.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was just like whatever happened, it didn't happen, with me. So, I was just like, wow. I guess they got to clear that up.
I'm gonna stay over here doing what I'm doing. Got you. So, when did you start recording Child of the Ghetto, your first album?
Like I said, like they was giving me beats, ever since, when I first as soon as I got there, they was like, yo, try this. How you like that? Listen to these. You know what I mean? I was picking stuff. So, I was, the whole 99, I was, recording here and there. I might have did about 6 songs in 99.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Another 6, 7, I kind of stepped it. I started writing a little more in 2000 because I didn't have to write for anybody or anything like that. So, and like in 2000, I kind of, started like getting geared up for the album. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff, more of the beats was coming that I wanted. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, you know what I mean? So 2000, I wrote about 6 or 7, songs that, stuff like that. 2001 came, we was basically done.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Tell me about the studio sessions for your 2 biggest hits, Special Delivery and Let's Get It. How were the studio sessions for that?
Well, Special Delivery was just, it was kind of one of them things that, first we did Let's Get It first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I never forget that. We was looking for something. We needed like an up-tempo kind of song.
Harlem type
Yeah,
of
some, shout out to Yogi. He was like, yo, I got something for you that, I wanted to work with him. He was one of the hitmen. And he was like, yo, look, I got something for you. I know what you need, da-da-da. So we finally linked up. He was like, yo, come with me, ride with me. So I rolled with him. He played the joint. And so immediately we went crazy. I wrote for the joint. You know what I mean?
You wrote the hook and your verses.
Yeah, I wrote the 3 verses and the hooks. And so I'm like, you know, I laid it, and so I booked the joint. I was super excited to record Let's Get It. I knew it was something. You know what I mean?
You knew it was a lead single.
Yeah, I was like, yo, nah, this is, you know what I mean? And so I went. So you know, in the song was just the way it happened. Like what I used to do is I used to record myself just going ham, like on the beats. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so the whole thing was like I recorded it, I had the camcorder back then, you know, set it up, threw the beat on. Philly, get smacked, silly. You get smacked, you know, just wilding, just like that. And then so you know, I kept it like that. You know what I mean? I was like, that's kind of dope. And then I was like, and I didn't realize I did it. I was like, you know, I was kind of talking to myself. I was like, when you ready? Shit, I was born ready. And I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I just was freestyling after that, and I kind of put the words to it. You know what I mean? But I, you know, so I went back and read it and looked at the footage and was like, oh, that'd be a dope little way to start the song, you know? And I kept it. And so, you know, I wrote that, and then I never forget the day I had to record it. Black Rob came and picked me up. He was like, yo, what's up? What you doing? I was like, I gotta go to the studio. He was like, word, me too. What's up? Let's go down there. I was like, all right. So we went, you know, did our rounds. We got some smoke, some trees. We you know, blowing it down. We went down there. It was early. It was like 1 in the afternoon. Got there. You know, and it just was like, you know, one take. You know what I'm saying? Word.
You was ready.
Yeah, I was ready. You know, energy. I was dumb hype. You know what I'm saying? Word. And he was like, yo, Depp. He was like, yo.
Outta here.
Yeah, he was like, yo. He was like, yo. He was like, yo, let me ad-lib this.
Right.
Because if you listen to it, I ain't got no ad-libs on it.
Yeah, that's
you know
PR.
I mean? Yeah, that's all him. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, let me ad-lib this. I got you. I was like, all right.
When did Puff decide to come in and throw a verse on it?
Yeah, so I had it for a while. You know
Right.
what I mean? I had the, you know, the whole song, and you know, we was just running around, you know, playing it in the whip, and dudes was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm telling you, that you know, you ride around with your people, you listen. I'm letting, you know, I used to always do that, let gauge, you know, the responses and see how people like stuff, and you know, dudes was like, yo, nah, this is it, bruh.
Right.
And we only had the 3 verses on it. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, you know, so I was real confident about the song, you know what I mean? And then, but we still had to, you know, he had the final say about, you know, all the songs, you know what I'm saying? So he wasn't around at the time, and I kept asking Harlem. I was like, yo, Harlem, did Puff hear that yet? You know what I mean? He was like, nah, he ain't listened to it yet. He said he said he gonna listen to it. And then, you know, he wasn't around at the time. He was in Europe, and then so he called one day when I was in the studio conference. He was like, yo, Depp. He was like, what you did with that joint, that Yogi joint? And I was like, yo, I want you to hear it. And he was like, all right, send it. And he was like, so no, I'm lying, right? So the day I spoke to him, he was like, yo, I listened to that joint. And he was like, yo, it's all right. He's like, I don't really understand it though. Like, what you, like, I was like, you don't understand it. Like, I was like, it's fire. That's what you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, let me sit with it for a little longer. Like, let me sit with it for a minute. When I get back to the States, we'll chop it up about it. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm like, damn, man. You know, because usually when he don't feel something like, when he ain't jacking it, it's a rap. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. And I'm sure I got one with this. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like. So I was like, whatever. So when he came back, he was hype. I remember I came in the studio the one day, and he was like, yo. This is it right here, Depp. He was like, yo. He was like, nah. He was basically just like, yo, Depp, like, I need to get on this. And I was like, word.
Out of just feeling the record.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I need to get on. I was like, oh, word. And then he was like, yo, it was like he kind of forgot what we was like, what I was talking about at first, because when I came in, you know, he was regular chopping it up. Yo, what's up, Deb? Yeah, yo, you know, he was playing whatever he was playing on the loudspeaker. And he was like, yo, that joint you got? He was like, yo, I need to get on that. And I was like, word. He was like, yo, this and that. He was like, yo, we gonna put BR on this too. I was like, all right. So he was like, yo, so write me something for this. You know, so I wrote what I wrote for him. You know what I mean?
So the verse that he has on there right now, you wrote that?
Yeah.
So I just seen something recently. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I seen it said that 50.
Yeah.
50 Cent wrote the verse.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Well, what I think happened is I think he asked a bunch of people to write.
Oh, okay,
you know what I mean? And I think, and what I think is, because at the end, I had how the end go. It go make moves major, hide out in Asia. If your girl keep coming around, and I'm gonna blaze on them.
Right.
Like, so that was what I had in special delivery.
Yeah,
if your girl keep coming around, like, so that's what I put
That
in
cadence,
there.
everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If your girl keep coming around, and I'm gonna take her to Jamaica, and I give her a reason. No, that was from special delivery. So I put that in there just so people on the low might know that, I was a part of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so connect the dots. So I said, if your girl keep coming around, then I'm a blazer, I'm the bad boy flavor, light blue gators. And then I had to end with that same thing. I think I said something, love be you later or something like that. It was rhyming with gators and all of that, right?
Right.
So then when he heard the verse, he was like, I'm feeling that. He was like, I'm digging that. He was like, but yo, can you like say something that's more like to what's going on right now? Cause like we going through what we going through.
Shit with J-Lo
at the time. So he was like, yo, and he said this out of his mouth. He said like say something like not guilty and I'm filthy. Come on, like just like that. Like, word them up. Like so I was like, hell yeah. I was like, yeah, you should say that. I was like, just say that. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, all right. And then that was it. I had referenced it, and I just left it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so what I think happened is I think 50 actually did write that.
Yeah, that
you know what I mean?
beginning part.
That like, not guilty and I'm filthy. You know what I mean? I think he wrote them
cops in the feds, DA.
No, none of that. You know what I'm saying? That was call me Diddy. I run this city, send the cops, the DA, the feds to come get me. That was all me, yeah. Okay. Cats want to leave me for dead, they come with me.
Right.
Head in the Bentley red at 150, you know what I'm saying? Straight lose it. I wanted them to sound like I was on there, like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end, what I'm thinking is 50 might have wrote him a rhyme, and then he heard that part, and liked that part. And when he said to me, like, say something like that, he was like, yo, because he didn't say that. He said, yo, say something like not guilty and I'm filthy. Come on, yeah. Right? And so when he got in there to spit his rhyme, he probably just put that. Like, you know what I mean? So that wasn't me. So whoever's, I don't know, I thought he just came up with that out the top of his head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he probably played your verse for Fifth, and Fifth was like, yo, say this, like this.
Or, no, what I think is Fifth wrote him a rhyme. And was like, and, in the Fifth's rhyme, he might have said, not guilty and I'm filthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I wrote my joint, he was like, he jacked 50 joint, like, yo, why don't you say this at the end? You know what I mean? And I was like, you say it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Word, you know what I mean? I was like, you say it. It's only one line, you say it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he was like, all right, whatever. And then when I heard the rhyme, I heard him say it at the end. I was like, okay, well. So when I seen 50 say that, at first I was like, he's bugging. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, your name ain't nowhere. What do you mean you wrote something? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, so basically, that's what I think happened. One day I want to talk to him about it. Like, what actually do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, what did he actually write?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm seeing, like, people saying he wrote the hook, and I'm like, I'm just done with it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, that's what I think happened. I think he wrote that part some kind of way.
It's the same thing with the I Get Money Billionaire remix with him, Jay, and Diddy. Like, he said, like, he wrote some of the verse, and then Jay-Z helped with writing parts of Diddy's verse as well.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's probably one of those things where it's just like maybe a half a bar.
Yeah.
Or a whole bar or something like that, but not the whole fucking record. You know what I'm saying? Or the whole verse that he wrote. You know
exactly. I mean, people kind of misconstrued that in a way because he said, they said, yo, what did you write for Puffy? He said, not guilty and I'm filthy.
And
like,
they was laughing about it. When I seen the interview, they was like, yo, I didn't tell him to tell the cops and the DA, the feds to come and get me. I ain't tell him to say that.
Oh, word.
I didn't do that. Like, Fifth said that on camera.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they was joking around. So I don't know for a fact that Fifth really said, yo, I wrote this verse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably just certain parts.
Yeah, like dudes kind of,
or something.
Right. Like dudes kind of made it into their own, they took
people take it on the internet and they want it, but nobody ever heard. I didn't know that you wrote that verse.
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
guess
never knew
so.
that she wrote that verse because what I seen online was Fifth,
Yeah.
and everybody else saying, "Oh, Fifth wrote the verse for Let's Get It."
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, nobody asked me. You know, I
Right.
was locked up. You know, all of them years. So you know, I guess it never. When we did it, nobody asked because you know everybody knew Puff was. You know, people was writing his
Right.
rhymes. So I guess nobody cared.
And I was always curious about that because I'm like, yo, Depp is a dope ass writer, and he got Special Delivery, he got Let's Get It, he got Child Together, he got all these records, and the way the records resonate to the fans is like, what else? What did he write for Puff? I want to know exactly what he wrote because I never looked at the credits.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I asked you that question.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But now the people know, like, yo, this
Right.
nigga wrote this and he wrote that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, did you ever encounter any funny business while you were in Bad Boy?
Nah, I can't say I had. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I said, we had Bad Boy. I ain't gonna lie, man. Them dudes kept it so official. Like now that
That's
even
what's up.
now
It's
that I
good to hear
even
that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now that I even now when I look at like the splits and like you know when I go and look at these on these sites at the publishing information, like that's just on point. Like you know what I mean? Like the who the artists. The splits, the you know, the percentages, like everything is 33, 33, 33. Like I'm like, damn, like,
Bro,
bro,
you were seeing them checks.
yeah, like you know
Right.
what I'm saying, yeah. But I'm saying like in a lot, like I don't even remember even being that instrumental in all of that. Like I know all the time, this was one thing we always did. Like if we got on anybody else's stuff, like we always sent each other invoices.
Right.
Yo, I need 3,500. Yo, I need 30. You know what I'm saying? Or yo, make sure you call such and such and give her your name and make sure you on that song. You know what I mean? Like he was a stickler for that. Like make sure your name is on this song. You know what I mean?
See, that's what people don't hear that about him.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like,
People don't hear shit like
and,
that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and now that I look at and a lot of stuff, like I don't even remember. Like I don't even remember like even being on point with the splits, and they did. Like I'm looking, I'm like, damn, you know everything. Like you know what I'm saying. Like all the songs, like you see my name, this percentage, like, and I'm like, okay, you know that's so. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you know, bruh used to keep it G like with dudes. Like you know what I'm saying. And
That's
and
what's
like
up.
yeah, so I don't know, you know, dudes I guess heard stories from other things. I mean, I guess it's all on the individual. Like you know, if you was handling your business, then your business got handled. You know,
Right.
Well,
So I want to shift a little bit, right? So you came home, right, last year. You went inside because you turned yourself in, right? From what I've seen and what I've read and stuff like that, watching your interviews, substance abuse was an issue,
copy.
right? So what was it? I have a bunch of questions, but I want to condense it, right? You had a substance abuse issue that essentially led you to committing a certain crime, right?
No,
No. It was just whatever happened.
yeah, that
Right.
happened in 93.
Right.
This is before all of that. You know.
Yeah. What made you want to come forward and like turn yourself in on something like that?
Well, it was maturity, you know. The spirit moved me to understand certain things. You know what I mean? I understood. You know, just my life. My life was teaching me those lessons, and I was blessed to take heed to these things that were in my happening in my life. Like my daughter was born, then my sons were born, and I was able to be around them and appreciate life. You know what I mean?
But you wound up taking advantage of your time and doing the right thing. You went to college.
Yeah.
While you was in there and wound up getting your associates, correct?
I was
In
almost to
liberal
my
arts.
bachelor's, liberal arts, yeah.
That's what's up. And you came home, man, and it's just like you just straight got to it. Like, what have you been doing since you've been out?
I mean, I've been recording, you know what I'm saying, obviously, and then shows. I've been, just trying to get myself together, on a personal note, just, worried about, what I need to, get together, as far as housing and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I just been, just focused, man, you know what I'm saying?
quick question. I seen before Puff turned himself in, I seen you and him met in Harlem
Yeah.
somewhere. How did that conversation go?
It was good, man. We talked about some stuff. We talked about making music. You know what I'm saying? We talked about just reminiscing. You know, he talked about BR. You know, it was like, yo, it's weird without him out here and all of that. You know, we just chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? Regular stuff.
And do you still see like residuals off of your music and stuff like that?
Yeah, I still see a lot of that.
That's good.
Yeah,
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to good business.
Yeah, that's
a
fact. So what's happening now? Tell the people like what's going on now and what's coming.
Well, right now, I just been, like you said, man. The rumors are true, man. I just been working, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
It ain't rumors, we see it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, like, I've been not only that, stuff behind the scenes. I've been working on this album. Right now we got 3 studio albums done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So right now we got an album out called Lessons Never Losses. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We didn't put it up on these regular streaming sites. You know what I'm saying? For now, we probably might sooner or later, but right now you can only get it on blackmarketgroup.recordings.com. You know what I'm saying?
That's all one word. Market Groups.
blackmarketgroup.recordings.com.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You could get it there. It's that's what we doing. We got another album coming out called Stay Ready. Mm-hmm. Then another album, called Off the Count. I'm
Off the count.
Off the count.
Off
yeah.
the count. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I like
what
that.
that's
I like
about.
that. Yeah. That's a fact.
Yeah. So we just working, man. Just finding that sound. Getting in pocket with the new music out here. It's just a beautiful thing, man.
Got you. Now tell me about this credit card. USB chip that I got plugged into my phone right now.
Oh, copy.
With your music on it and everything. Explain to the people exactly what this is.
Copy. So when you go to blackmarketgroup.recordings.com, right? You can purchase one of these. These will come to you in about 3 to 5 business days, or you could do a digital download. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right there. You could get it right there. You know what I'm saying? But these right here are, just something that you can have.
Take it out. And
you can have, for just for vintage memorabilia purposes. You know what I'm saying? First G-Dep album, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So, so what you could do is you could put it into your phone. It has a USB-C drive, port. You know what I mean? Or if you got the, the other one. Like the longer one, that you put into your, like the cars usually, you can put it into that as well. You know what I'm saying? And you could download the album, and then you don't have to have it hanging out your phone or nothing.
Right.
Because a lot of people think you got to put it in there and like be walking around like this.
All day.
Yeah, but so you put it in your phone. Nah, you put it in your phone and you download it, and then that's it. It's yours. You on there. You know what I mean? You could just walk around with this, or you can have it on your phone. You know what I'm saying?
So just to let y'all know, I've done it. I already downloaded it to my phone. So this is what the card looks like. I'll pull this out, pause, flip it around, pause, put it into my phone. I got an iPhone 16 Pro Max, right? So I'll put it inside, make sure it's up in there. And then once I go to my files, I just go to browse. And there's something that comes up there that says no name. And once I go to no name, it'll show me all of the records that is on it. So you have 2 folders right there. The album is called Lessons Never Losses. And I go there and all of the records will start loading right here on this.
And then right there.
And these are all the records and it'll download automatically to your phone, whether it's an iPhone or Android.
Facts. With the Android, I appreciate it, bro. With the Android, it's a little different. It's basically the same though. If you have an Android, I just wanted to tell you, you plug it in, look for wherever you got your files, go into your files, and you should see it. It'll say USB drive, and you just take it from there. The same type of deal. You download it to your phone.
This is fire. A lot of people haven't thought outside the box like this, and it's very quick and easy and accessible for his music. Dep, how can everybody follow you?
Yeah, I mean my joint is just G-Dep official. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All around the board, on Facebook. Excuse me. On YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, it's all at G-Dep official.
Gotcha. I like how you came home and just like learned this shit immediately. I know you had help. You know,
Yeah.
I like how you fell into it. I seen how you was navigating your phone and shit. I'm like, all right, this dude is he in tune. You know what he's doing.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the tablets actually helped me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was abreast of, you know, the icons and swipe. Actually, I mean, I was locked up. I got locked up in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, I was always into, I'm a technology dude. Like, I love all that stuff. I don't know why, but, I was always into, like, technology. So I had a iPhone.
Right.
The one of the first ones.
Yeah.
The 2 or 1, you know what I mean? When I got locked up.
Shit that look like an iPod.
Yeah, hell yeah. The one it was just like, it's like just one little thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a little pad. It was dope then, though. But I had that. And, so when I came home, it was just like on steroids. So I just kind of, I fell in line.
So once again, I appreciate y'all brothers for coming in, spin the yard with me and everything like that.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all follow G-Dep Official. Make sure y'all follow Champion Style TV. Like, share, subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Stall off on that subscribe button, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. You heard? Even though I ain't got none.